All right, buckle up for the hilarious roller coaster ride of married life. Just the other day, I went to the fridge to grab some milk. Now, this wasn't just any milk run. This was an expedition, a quest for the mythical white unicorn, because apparently, according to my wife's telepathic grocery list I never received, milk has spontaneously combusted 3 times this week alone. Anyway, I opened the fridge, and there it is, a gallon staring back at me like a smug dairy cow judging my poor life choices. Triumphantly, I grab it and yell, "Hey, honey, guess what I found?" From the living room, my wife, bless her multitasking heart, yells back, "The remote? I've been looking everywhere for that." Classic. Speaking of classics, let's talk about socks. Those little landmines strategically placed throughout the house. You can train a dog, you can navigate rush hour traffic, but apparently folding laundry and putting socks away with their partners is a skill that mysteriously evaporates after you say, "I do." Then there's the whole communication thing. Remember those pre-marriage talks where everything was sunshine and rainbows? Now, apparently, a simple request like, "Can you take out the trash?" translates to, "Honey, would you be a darling, and perhaps, at your earliest convenience, consider the possibility of removing the overflowing receptacle of questionable hygiene currently residing by the back door." It's enough to make a grown man take up charades. But hey, it's not all milk mishaps and sock warfare. The other day, I was making breakfast, because apparently, according to the unwritten rules of marriage, husbands occasionally need to impress their wives with culinary feats. And I cracked an egg. Now, this wasn't your average egg. This egg, my friends, had a double yolk, a marvel of nature, a sign from the breakfast gods. So naturally, I take a picture, send it to my wife with the caption, "Look what just happened," only to receive a text back that said, that means your chickens are confused, not that you're a culinary genius." Marriage, folks, it's a hilarious mess. It's like living with your best friend, only they steal your fries and judge your sock-folding skills. But hey, at least the fridge is, sometimes, stocked with milk, even if finding it feels like winning the lottery. Attention all veterans of the marital wars. Buckle up for a hilarious history lesson about the age-old art of divorce jokes. Remember that awkward phase after the split? That time when everything reminded you of your ex? Yeah, well, guess what? Now everything reminds you of divorce lawyers. Suddenly, every commercial break seems to be sponsored by a firm promising to get you the most house, the least spouse. Speaking of houses, have you seen the real estate market lately? The only thing more expensive than a wedding these days is a divorce. Apparently, untying the knot comes with a hefty price tag, which is ironic because most marriages feel like they've been financially strangled for years anyway. But hey, at least you get some quality one-on-one time with your therapist now. They'll be there to listen to all your hilarious and slightly bitter jokes about your ex. Like the classic, "What is the difference between a marriage and a life sentence?" A life sentence eventually ends. Dark? Maybe. Funny? Absolutely. There's also the ever-reliable wardrobe joke. You know, the one where you finally get to purge your closet of all those clothes your ex hated, but you secretly loved. Let's just say that Goodwill donation pile is about to get a whole lot more interesting. And who can forget the in-laws, those wonderful people who suddenly become much more tolerable when they're not technically family anymore. Suddenly, weekend visits don't involve forced small talk and pretending you enjoy Aunt Mildred's fruitcake. It's like a social butterfly emerging from its chrysalis of awkward family gatherings. Look, divorce might not be a walk in the park, unless your park has a really good ice cream stand, but it can definitely be a laugh riot. So go ahead, crack open a celebratory beverage, because let's face it, you probably have a whole cellar full of unopened bottles your ex wouldn't touch, and share your favorite divorce jokes with your newly single squad. Because, hey, misery might love company, but laughter loves a good divorce story. Ah, the age-old battle, married folks versus the single life. It's a comedic clash as timeless as ripped jeans versus mom jeans. On one side, you've got the married veterans, sporting cozy sweatpants and a permanent been there, done that eye roll. On the other, the single soldiers, rocking their sleep in whatever they wore glory and a free spirit, don't need no commitment, swagger. Disagreements here ooped like popcorn kernels in a hot pan, leaving us with enough amusement to fill a stadium-sized bucket. Exhibit A, the thermostat wars. Married, Brenda cranks the thermostat down to Arctic tundra levels because those bills won't pay themselves, Gerald. Gerald, a walking furnace, retorts with, I wouldn't need 3 sweatshirts inside if you weren't trying to mummify us. Cue the passive-aggressive blanket stealing and accusations of having broken blood circulation. Single. The thermostat is a non-issue for Malik. Dude sleeps under a single sheet year-round, claiming it builds character. Meanwhile, Tanya rocks a space heater and a Snuggie because Netflix and chill requires actual chill, not hypothermia. Exhibit B, the weekend warriors. Married. Friday night. Brenda dreams of a quiet night in, reruns of Golden Girls, and a face mask. Steve, however, envisions a night of living a little, which translates to loud karaoke and questionable dance moves. Arguments ensue, flavoured with past regrets about that wild, facey Brenda never had, and Steve's dwindling grip on his youth. Single. Friday night. Malik contemplates the vastness of streaming services, finally settling on a documentary about competitive yodeling. Tanya, post-Manny and blowout, hits the town with her girls, ready to conquer the dance floor with moves that would make Beyoncé proud. Exhibit C, the Great Takeout Debate. Married, both Brenda and Steve are wiped after work. Brenda suggests a healthy stir-fry, which Steve counters with, but honey, greasy pizza is basically self-care. Negotiations commence, involving past promises, calorie compromises, and a silent vow to sneak extra fries later. Single. Malik, a master of culinary improvisation, throws together a questionable concoction of leftovers and hot sauce, christening it the Bachelor's Delight. Tanya, on a health kick, enjoys a meticulously prepped salad with a side of self-satisfaction. The punchline? There isn't really one. Married folks learn that compromise is the spice of life, even if that spice